Yeah. How can parents shift from power struggles to a more cooperative approach?
It's not easy, but I think it's first, yes, awareness first and foremost. It's awareness of what I call them default settings. So it's what you're like programmed to do. Like I said, I knew what I was programmed to do because of how I was raised. So you have to kind of like really look at that and make a decision that you want to change it and have some strategies. I'm actually coming out with a new book next month, FYI, where I'm applying this philosophy to practical everyday approaches. So it's called the Danish Way every day. So it's like giving parents practical ways to apply this approach. Um, and yeah, and this can be like being more aware of what you want to communicate. Something as simple also as like your words and your tone. Um, so one of the things I was getting wrong, for example, was like because I was trying to be so respectful, I was not sounding super sure what I was saying. Because I was like, why do they listen to you and not to me? And he's like, when I say it's time to go to bed, I'm saying it, I know what I'm saying. It's time to go to bed. You're like, you don't, I didn't sound sure at all. It's like, don't you think it's time to go to bed?
Mm.
And again, sounds simple, but it's not that Danish parenting is like permissive. It's very clear there's boundaries. It's also including yourself. I need to do other things tonight. We've agreed that you go to bed at this hour. It's communicating with authority, right? And it's
Yeah.
have boundaries, but it's not making your kids afraid of you and making it, and this is important for Americans, it's not an I win, you lose. This is a cultural default setting that many of us have because we come from this I win culture, and this spills over without realizing it into parenting. Without realizing it, suddenly it's like, I'm the adult, I'm supposed to be the one. I'm supposed to
Hmm.
be I'm the winner here. And this really screws us up a lot of times. If you get rid of that approach that I'm the adult and I have to win, you know, already you can start at a more respectful stance.
Yeah. And I think I've been thinking a lot about that because I also come from an authoritarian, I guess, discipline style from Mexico and also the US. So now that I think about it, I think a lot of those instructions also come from an egocentric point or place. Whereas if I'm telling you to do something and then if the child says no and then we get upset and then we yell, we're not yelling because the task is not being accomplished. We're yelling because we feel that our ego is being attacked by somebody not complying to the instructions that we are giving. And I think maybe sort of understanding that or where is that anger comes from that the kid is not doing something that we asked them to do. Like, is it really because they're not wanting to do the task or because they told us no and we don't like to be told no? So I think a lot of it is just understanding ourselves as well. It's like, okay, why am I being upset? Am I being upset because it's challenging whatever ideas I have about myself or who I am? Or is it just because he doesn't simply just understand what is the thing that he's supposed to do? At least for myself, of course, I've had to, work at it as well and think maybe, okay, maybe the instruction that I gave wasn't clear. Maybe I need to try a different form. And a lot of times, or at least what we're finding is those things is okay, maybe we didn't ask the right way or we didn't say it in the right way for the kid to really understand, why the thing that we're asking is good for him. And that also comes once again, they do what we do. So if we tell them, hey, eat your vegetables, and then we're eating something different, it's like, well, how can you ask that whenever you're eating something different? Of course, they're not going to want to. Yeah, that's a very interesting one.
Yeah, and
What a,
I
yeah,
think also last thing I'll say about that is I think it's also like it's also about checking in with yourself about how much surplus you have.
yeah,
So, for example, like I think sometimes we have to really go like, am I in the right mindset for this
Mm.
scenario, right? Because sometimes we're not, and we're tired, because when you're really stressed or tired, that's when you're most likely to return to your default settings. And so as much as and kids sniff that out, they know if you're trying to be fake or you're trying, you know what I mean? So like I think it's also about being in touch with yourself and also sometimes just being honest about that with your kid. That's being more authentic. It's like, you know what? I'm really tired right now and I don't think I'm going to react the way I want to. So let's just, actually in this case, like, here's a toy, play with this while I get this done, or here's, you know, or ask your partner to help
Yeah, yeah. I
because
think
sometimes we're not able to respond the way we want to, and that's okay. I think that's also being human.
yeah, absolutely. And I think that's maybe that's the one that we use here. I mean, if for whatever reason, I come home with negative numbers, and something comes up, I'll ask my wife, hey, just help me out here until I regulate.
Totally.
Yeah. And once again, it's all about us paying attention to ourselves because, well, they're gonna see those things, and